Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Make Kind Loud conversations that turn up the volume. And I am super excited about today's episode because it's the anniversary show. So, 4 years ago, February 12th, 2018, I made a video that basically said, "Have a fantastic day." And during that video, I made a statement that I was going to go live every day, wishing us to have a fantastic day. And here we are, 4 years later. And I think this is 1,468 days of videos. And I just wanted to take a moment and celebrate that. Because that is awesome. I just wanted to take a moment and just feel the magnitude of that, having done 1,468 videos that basically says have a great day. And when I started, I had the exact same message for like a year and a half. For a year and a half, I said the exact same thing. And it went a little something like this. Good morning. Good morning. This is going to be a fantastic day. This is going to be a fantastic day no matter what. The choice is yours. You get to decide how you're going to react and how you're going to respond in every single situation. And that is a beautiful thing. So get up and decide that today is going to be a fantastic day. The choice is yours. So let's choose fantastic. Let's make kind loud and always, always, always pass the love every day for like a year and a half. And it was great. And my friends were like, why don't you change it up? Why don't you change up the message? It wasn't on my heart to change up the message yet. It was, I think those were the words that needed to be said for as long as they needed to be said. And now, I have a different message every day, but the premise is still the choice is yours. How you show up is on you. Even when there's craziness and there's chaos in the world, excuse me, there's confusion in the world, excuse me, there's all kinds of negativity in the world. That's always going to be there. But how you decide to show up, how you decide to shine your light is on you. And no one can take that away from you. And I think we have the responsibility to do our very best, to be our very best every single day. Now, don't get me wrong, because I've had moments. I've had moments when I'm like, I do not feel as though I'm having a fantastic day. I've had moments when I wake up and I think to myself, how am I going to get up and do this video? How am I going to get up and shine my light? And then I think this has nothing to do with me. It's bigger than me. And if I can just show up for one person, if I can just show up for just to let people know that, yes, we're going to have tough times. Yes, you might be struggling right now. But just because that last moment was difficult doesn't mean that you have to carry that over to the rest of your day. And that's what this journey has taught me. It has taught me that, yeah, we are going to have moments. We are going to have situations with people, with jobs, with family, with friends, with coworkers, with the random person driving down the road. We're going to have all of that. But how you decide to shine your light has nothing to do with any of those other people. And just because you have 5 minutes of, because we all have that, doesn't mean that you have to carry that 5 minutes over to the rest of your day, because you get to choose, hey, yeah, that sucked. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that really annoyed me. That really got under my skin. And then you get to choose how to keep going, how to move forward. And it's so beautiful, and it's amazing. And I just hope that over the last 1468 days that I have said something, or have shared my laugh, or uh, have posted something that brought you a little joy, because I firmly believe that I am here to spread as much love, joy, and kindness as possible. And for as long as possible, for as long as my dash is here, that is my mission in this life. So I have a guest. This is Gwen, and yeah, I've sent the link to a few people, and it's on my Facebook page. Y'all can pop in to say hello if you would like. Thank you so much for all the comments. Nancy, thank you very much. It's bigger than me, it's bigger than us. We belong to each other. It is up to us to show up and make that happen. Hello, Sissy. Thank you for being here. Oh, you're here. Hey, I'll get you in a second. So yeah, it's great. But my first guest is Gwen Robertson. And let me tell you, if I don't do this for anyone else, I do this for Gwen. Because Gwen watches this live every day. Every single day, she comments, she sends a message every day, and I love that, and I appreciate that so much. So I'm gonna pop you in, Gwen. Hello.
Hello there.
How are
Yeah,
you?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. Listen, Gwen, I just want to thank you for just showing up every day, just for watching the video every day. And it really does bring a smile to my face when I see your comment.
Well, you lift my spirits. Watching you every day lifts my spirits.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And so what I lift, you say to list your spirits, and I thank you so much. But what is it about the videos that really gets you going? Like, what is there anything specific about it?
Your laugh, your laugh is contagious.
Thank you so much. Well, Glenn, again, like I said, I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I honestly, when I do interviews, when people ask me about views or whatever, your name always comes up. And I
Oh,
say, it doesn't matter who else watches, because I know Gwen is watching. And I really appreciate that, Gwen. Thank you so much.
well, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to pop you off.
Okay.
Love her. Next is going to be my sissy. It's Mia. Thank you.
Sissy.
Hello.
I was doing my hair and then I was like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I got to get on Sissy's show.
I'm sorry for the last minute invite, but I was like, I'm just going to see
No.
if people want to pop on and say something.
Yay. That was good to see Gwen. I have seen her comment. So how cool is that?
Yeah, Gwen's awesome. And honestly, every interview when people ask me, I say, I do it for Gwen.
Yeah. You know she's going to be there. Do you know, it's funny. I had it on and you were talking about how you would do the same thing for a while. And so I was mouthing it.
Oh, you were saying
So
I was saying
let's
it?
choose fantastic. Let's make kind loud. And I was just mouthing it. And
I know.
always pass the love.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Sissy,
Sissy.
What it's been like 1,468 days of
Who's
videos.
counting?
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. I like, and once in a while when I'll see it pop in, I'm like, dang, that's good. You know, that's dedication. I love that. I like how you're doing it now with like chapter and verse.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that's neat. Yeah, that's amazing though, Sissy. And then I love how you've incorporated it now into parables and lessons too, which is fun. So yay. It's been cool to watch you evolve.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And it happened actually in 2020 when I made that switch.
Was that what it was? Yeah.
It was well, honestly, it was after the George Floyd situation. And it
Game
was
changer.
I didn't have it in me to get up and say have a fantastic day. And so that message was like, that video was like 10 minutes long and I was crying.
I
and was
remember.
like,
I remember.
We have to do better.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on?
But
and so
yeah,
from
I
that
get
moment
that.
on, the messages were different. They were different every day. So, but
and I love that evolution, honey, because there's a time to, oh, it's 11:11. Ooh, that's good energy for us.
11.
There's a time to have that message, and I think that was a great period that you had that, and then you made that transition at the exact right time, and many of us did as well. Like, now it's time for me to speak on this.
Yeah.
Right. And that was perfect.
Right. Thank you. And that's exactly what that was. It was I've said the same message every day.
I said what I said.
Right. I said what I said. But now it's time to do different. And now it's time to show up differently.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was that transition. And so since then, so that was May of 2020. It's been a different message from then on. And it's been fantastic.
And I feel like too, because you built your brand on that first piece, which was great. Like that was consistency. That was what people looked forward to see you show up every single time. Now that's how change happens, right? These little day by day things. And then you transitioned your brand to that important piece once you established it. And now I feel like kind of like your Black History Month posts.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. I saw a couple of people like, what's that mean? I'm like, then you don't know. Then you don't know, you know.
Right.
But you know, they get inspired. And I do think that life and spirit and the universe starts bringing you more things. The more you're open to sharing it, like, okay, let me give you this. Right.
Yeah.
Which is very good. And some of them, or all of them, definitely there's times, because I got to use your phrase yesterday in a conversation about me.
That?
Oh, who brings a bazooka?
Oh, bazooka to a knife fight.
To a knife fight, yeah. I literally I referenced that in a conversation with my mom and somebody else too. I said, just to let you know, in case you don't know, that this is how I might react if somebody misbehaves when it comes to my mom. You know, and she just was like, yeah. Makes sense. But you know, it's definitely can calm me down. There's some of them too. I'll just reach out to you and be like, woof, yep, I needed that one. So they're practical, and I love that.
And I love that you do that too. So thank you for, those messages. And and I've said this a million times, and I truly do mean it. It's not about how many people watch. Like, it would be awesome if I had 1 million views. That would be fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's also about having that connection. Like when you say something and then people reach out and say, oh yeah, thank you for that. and so I love that.
It literally does come down to, because, I do my shows pretty often too. And I think I've been doing those honestly. But when in the Google Plus days, I was doing them every Friday. And I think I've been live streaming since 2012. Or so, Jesus,
oh, wow.
10 years.
Wow.
It just hit me. I was doing that on Google Plus back in the day, and YouTube, and I did shows every Friday from like 13 to 15, and then the blab, and then this, and of course Facebook makes it a little bit more difficult for things to be seen. So you see our numbers ebb and flow, but I've really had to let that go and just go, okay, if one person jumped on and it's like, I'm having this go on, or I'm grieving about something, or I'm feeling some kind of way, then it really is just one thing, one person, and it takes the ego out of it and the expectation, and you just keep doing what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when you can take the ego out and say, okay, it's really not about me.
Yeah.
And how do I show up for the world?
Yeah.
And you
Then you
show up
don't.
for the world by showing up for yourself.
You do, and showing up authentically, and then not worrying about it, because that with our brands, we it's so unique. You're just so unique. Here's the thing I love the most is that you thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
you're
kidding.
getting
Like
some comments over
I
here.
feel
You pop them up.
super
Yep.
old school. I love that it's a celebration. I'm literally yes, it is. Great comment. Really
Yes.
is. That it's a celebration. I'm literally hearing that in Charlie Murphy's voice in that skit.
Well,
But
fantastic.
oh, you know what I love about you? I want to tell you is that you crack yourself up. Like,
I do.
oh my God. And I do, but I mean, you got it down to a fine science. It's the best. It's inspiring. So thank you, sissy.
You know what? I think honestly, I'm hilarious to me. Now, other people might not think I'm as hilarious as I think I am, but I think I am hilarious, and I crack myself up all the time. There's a meme. I think was it a swan or a goose where the neck is all the way back and it's like it looks as though it's cackling. That is me laughing at my jokes because I think I'm hilarious.
We have enough for everybody, right? Even if nobody else is laughing, like that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, y'all didn't get that? Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was funny.
Oh, Melissa says it too. We love that about you. Yes, absolutely, we do. So thank you, sissy. I'm glad I could pop in and just give you some honors on that. I love how you handled the date thing as well. That was the one message when you were like, oh, I thought it was this date and then it was this date, and how you handled that, and the whole, and I keep saying parable because it's kind of how I feel about it when you're like weaving in life experiences. But I think I was going through something too of like a real game changer of like how much I've spent my life like sort of just feeling horrified about a mistake and how to get you. And that is the perfection piece that'll, it's the worst. It's the weapon of patriarchy. I like to say perfection is the weapon of colonialism and patriarchy, not to get on a soapbox, but I love how you handled that, because I just thought that was just such a great way to give ourselves permission to be like, okay.
Yep, I made a mistake. I messed up. For those of you who don't know what Mia is referencing, so I thought I started doing this on February 18th, 2018. And so I've had this in my mind. Oh, it was 2/18/18. That's a nice little date. And then I started to go back because I wanted to post the very first video that I did. And then it turned out that I started actually on February 12th. And so, and I had been counting the days, right? 1,000, I'm still going to say is 1468.
Yeah.
I had been counting the days and I said, oh, I've shorted myself 6 days. And then I thought, it's really, in the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so in the video that I discovered that I had made that mistake, I said those first 6 days was the 6-day free trial.
That's right. Just like, and then we'll charge your credit card, right?
You know, that credit card on the 18th.
But I love that today's the 18th, so we're celebrating today too. Good for you. Yeah, well, and I think it's a muscle,
you have a lot going on.
I do, and I want to run. I think it's a muscle that you can exercise the more you're okay with these things, and then you give permission, and that's what you did. So I appreciate you, and I love you for that. So
I love you too. Thank you for popping in. I'll talk to you later.
Congratulations. Bye, honey.
Bye. And that was Mia Voss. We have a couple more people coming. And so it's amazing. And I thank you for the messages. I do want to say hello. We have some people over here. Usama, I hope I said your name correctly. Hello, Usama. Nancy, Brian, you're up next. And Gwen, and then Melissa has also jumped in. So we're going to hear from Brian and Melissa. Thank you so much for all of your comments. Sorry, I haven't been able to pop them in as quickly as possible, but I see them and I will respond after the broadcast. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I see you, Nancy, with all your comments. Thank you so much. All right, next up we have. Oh, I missed somebody. Was it Kenny? Hello, Kenny. How are you? Thank you for being here. And let me make sure I said hello to everyone. Danielle, Daniel, sorry. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for being here. And yes. Okay, next up, we have Brian Shulman. Brian, I'm just going to bring Brian on because he's amazing. Hello, Brian. Oh!
Yes, it's celebration, girl.
I love that.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. Hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I am fantastic.
I'm so
Brian has a movement called Voice Your Vibe, and he does this every single day. And you are an inspiration of just how you show up in the world. So thank you for your energy and thank you for the way you show up.
Oh, thank you, love. And I can say the same thing to you. You know, I remember when you made your first video, and you have been a powerhouse. And this comes from someone who is you know, one of the original beta testers of LinkedIn Video, and it's just I've been involved since the beginning, and I love, like, the first thing I remembered seeing you was your laugh, your smile, and just your vibe, your energy. Like you literally light up the world, Louisa. You light up the
Thank
world.
You so much.
And it's just, it is good contagious. It is good contagious. And, you know, I heard you talking about earlier with a few folks. Yes, Nancy, my partner in crime. I heard you talking about, you know, it's, if you got 1 million followers, that's great, or viewers, but if you don't, it's great. Yeah, you know, the thing is you show up, and honestly, most people see, because you went from pre-recorded video to live video, and the reality is most people are not watching when it happens, right? They're catching it in replay if it's live. And in terms of your other videos, just because someone doesn't engage or comment, you're a legend, Daniel. Just because, you know, you don't see anyone doesn't mean they're not watching. It doesn't mean they're not hearing. And most important, it doesn't mean they're not feeling what you're putting out into the world. And I say that from experience, because there's so many times that I had seen your videos and had engaged, but I consumed all of that energy. And you just lift people up. And it's, you know, you make Kind loud, and it's you know, you talk about a movement. You know, it's really easy as creators to sit there and go, is anyone really paying attention? Yes. Is anyone really seeing this? Like,
yes,
I'm putting all this energy in, and I just don't know if it's impacting anyone. And the reality is, you never know what someone's going through. And you never know when they need to hear what you have to say. And every time you show up, Louisa, you have something to say, and it all comes from here. So I just want you to know I'm just so incredibly proud of you. Your consistency is redonkulous. And that comes from again, you and I are in same camp. We're just about to celebrate tomorrow, in fact, our 200th week of Shout Out Saturday Live.
That's amazing.
Yes. And actually, an interesting, your numbers, it was 1,400 days. I don't math very well. There's other numbers that it's like almost 4 years or something like that. But anyway, tomorrow we're celebrating that, and we're going to be shouting you out, and shout out to Nancy, my co-host. And yeah, you know, it's just, again, I can't say it, and I'm trying to think about different ways to say it, because you know what? It's easy. You're an inspiration.
As are you. And, you know, like hearts recognize each other, right? We're drawn to those people. And the very first time I saw you on video, I was like, hey, he's a kindred spirit. Let me reach out. Yes. Exactly. And it's amazing. And
Yeah.
we just all have to do our parts to
That's it.
shine
That's
our
it.
light.
Look, one person can change the world. It's true. You know, you ask yourself, you're like, how can one person do something like that? It's a ripple effect. It is a ripple effect, and you have this incredible ripple effect. And I agree with you. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe, and those of us with this energy and these positive vibes, right, that we just put out into the universe. Now, we don't always feel it. It's true. We don't
Right.
always feel it. But, you know, even when we don't feel it, we got to put it out there because someone else needs that. You know, that moment, someone needs it. And I just, like I said, your consistency is incredible. You lift people up. You make people smile. You're a gift. You're a gift to the world, Louisa. You really are. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I love you. I appreciate you, everything that you do, and don't stop doing what you're doing. And you know, if you're inspired to continue doing what you're doing every day, do it. If you get tired, take a break. You know, it's not about the frequency of you showing up. It's just that you do show up. And
I love that.
I mean, seriously, people, if you don't understand, like, it is not easy to show up consistently day after day the way this woman does. And with her, I mean, seriously, it's just you're just amazing. And I so
You're
appreciate it.
amazing.
No, you're amazing. And we had so much fun.
You.
No, you. And you invited me on your show. We had such a blast. Oh my gosh, it seems like ages ago. But it's true. You're right. We just had this pull towards each other. It was like, oh man, yeah, I love her energy. Oh yeah, we are so kindred spirits. So
yeah. And I just appreciate everything that you do with everything. And you said something that I do want to hit on. You said, you know, some days you don't feel it. And you think about, are you really making an impact? You have this message. You know, the world needs the message, and you're putting it out there, but really, is it doing any good?
yes.
Is it really being helpful? And I have those moments where I think, what's the point? What's the point of it? Like I have those moments when the world is heavy, when there's crazy stuff that happens in the world, when there's just chaos and confusion out there. I really do think, what's the point of all of this? And it goes back to, it's bigger than me. It's bigger.
That's it. I mean, look at the last 2 years, right? Look at the last 2 years of literally utter and complete chaos that we've been living in any which way possible you could imagine, all happening in the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us could have imagined we'd see one, let alone all of these in our lifetime. And yet, and I feel you, right? There's so many times where I've sat there and said, I just don't have it. Like, I'm so depressed, or my heart is hurting so hard because of all the hurt in the world right now, right?
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything, right? And yet we just like you said, we feel that we have to show up for others, right?
Right.
And I will tell you, and you tell me if this is the same for you, I feel like it's the same, but like when you're not feeling it and you show up, you feel better once you've showed up. Like, cause you know, you're like,
yes,
I needed this too. It's not just, I know all these other people out there needed it. I needed it too. And it just kind of lifts your spirits up too.
For sure. And I say that, like, during my video, I'll say, I'm not talking to anyone but me right now.
Yes. And I love that. Right? Because that self-talk, it's so important, right? What you tell yourself, you consume that, whether you think you believe it or not, you consume that.
Yeah.
And that positive speak is so important. And I did that too. I can think about so many videos where I did that. And I'm like, I'm actually sharing this message subconsciously to myself because I know I need to hear it too.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's awesome.
You're
and
awesome.
I love your journey, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. And this is a big moment. It's a big moment for you. And I just want you to know that Nancy says we're all living life. There's no reason to deny that. Yes, the only ugly, snotty, unsexy pieces. In fact, that's exactly what others need to see and hear. It's true, right? Because that is relatable. Nancy Deborah hits it right in the head. She's all about radiating real, and that's what you do when you show up on video, Louisa. You radiate real, and you voice your vibe the way you do, and it gives other people permission to know that what they're feeling, it's okay to not be okay, and what they're feeling, they're not alone, right? That's the biggest thing, because gosh, we all feel that, right?
Yep. And you also said, like, we have no idea what people are going through, and that's the biggest thing for me. So for those of you who don't know, before my kindness journey, I was super sarcastic, like one of the most sarcastic people you ever meet. And I always had something to say. I always had a comeback. And during this journey, I've been on my journey for 10 years now. So during this journey, it has transformed me and made me realize that everyone has stuff. Everyone goes through something. It doesn't matter if you are a billionaire or if you are homeless. It doesn't matter if you're the most successful person in the world or you may be on drugs. It doesn't matter. Everyone is going through something. And if we can recognize that and see people's hearts, and I honestly believe, I do believe to the core of me that there is more good in this world than not.
Amen.
That people are more good than not. And we all have moments. And sometimes those moments last years. Sometimes those moments last for a lifetime, right? But we get to choose to do differently if we choose to do differently, you know?
Yes. Preach. Yes, seriously, that's it. That is it. And that's why we are kindred spirits, because I am with you 100%. I believe there is so much more good than there is negative in the world. And we just don't see and hear enough about it.
Right.
That's it. We just don't see and hear enough about it. And so showing up and sharing that positive and sharing that good, that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important. You said something else that's so important too. You never know what someone else is going through.
That part.
You don't. You never know. Again, now more than ever, you never know what someone else is going through. And it's so important to be there for people. You're creating space for people, Louise. So you are creating space for people to show up, for people to feel, and again, to feel whatever they're feeling, right? And again, to know that it's okay. And I think that's the most important part, is that I think that's the part that people are not thinking about, is they're sitting there in their head going, alone, going, I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and I feel like I'm the only one feeling it, and I don't feel like it's okay, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Right.
And yet releasing that around a tribe that supports and loves you. I mean, it's a release. It's a release, and wow, we need it, because you can push and impact all that stuff down, but life is like a camera. Focus on what's important, capture the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, take another shot. Amen. Live by that. We are, by the way, we are our own worst critics. We're the one, nobody cares about the stuff that we are literally pinpointing and going,
right. It's so true. It's like, did you see that at they're like, what are you talking about?
Right. So I just again, I love the way you show up. I love the way you're you. And again, I love the way you create space for other people. And here's the biggest thing. If you don't see any numbers, yes, Nancy Deborah, Brave Space, if you don't see any numbers on your content, that does not mean that you are not impacting people.
Yes.
You are impacting more people than you realize, because there are so many people sitting in silent and watching. You never know who's paying attention, which is why you show up. You show
Why
up
you
and you
show up.
share that. You make kind loud, and you impact people every day that you show up the way that you do. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brian. I could talk to you all day. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to pop in. Yeah, and I sent the message. You were like, "I'm coming." And so
I would
thank
not
you.
have missed the opportunity to celebrate you and to be here to support you. It is a celebration. I hope you have the most incredible day celebrating you and the impact that you have made. You see it in the comments. People are blowing it up. Positive Rob Travis here. They're making kind loud. And
Yes.
and hey, you know what? If you're able to show up tomorrow, we've got a 2-hour show. It's from 9 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific. Again, we're celebrating 200 weeks
Oh, for sure. Yes.
of sharing love and gratitude for those that have made a positive impact in your lives. And we want to shout you out. I want you to be there for us to shout you out and just, again, celebrate you. So
I'll be there. Thank you so much for the invite. I will definitely be there.
All right. Much love. Appreciate you. And again, huge congratulations and celebrating you.
Thank you so much, Brian. Have a great day.
All right. Bye, all.
Bye. That was Brian Shulman. And again, his movement is voice your vibe. And the way he showed up, that's how he shows up every day. And so, yeah. So thank you, Brian. And then we have Melissa James coming up. Let me pop her on. Hello.
I got to see if my mic's working. Is it?
It is.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, you had to look at the inside of my pocket for a while, but I was multitasking as I usually am. So
that's okay. That's okay. How are you?
Doing great. Sounds like you are too.
I am doing fantastic. This has been a beautiful just remembrance of from where it started and to how it's evolved. And I just wanted to, you've been around for a few years now. So how have you seen it evolve over the last few years?
It's funny. I was just thinking back when some of the other folks were talking, and I still remember the very first time I think I saw you was, I think, in the Light Beamers group.
Yes.
And you were one of the few people that I had ever met that projected as much or more so than I did. People like to call us loud. And you were like wearing that as a badge. And I thought, okay, I've been hiding from this loud thing my whole life because people are like loud and good. Quit being so loud, McCoy, right? And I was like, oh, no, she's happy about this live. She's not happy about this loud, right? And it wasn't until, to be honest, I was watching the videos for months and I totally got the whole vibe and the, what you were trying to do, but I didn't ever really get the backstory until maybe, I don't know if it was a year or two ago that you said, for anybody who doesn't know, this is what Make Kind Loud is about. And I really hadn't really gotten it till then, that hate is so loud that we got to figure out how to make kind louder, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, perfect. Now I get the loud part, right? And you just naturally, are gregarious. And so loud comes easy to us, right? So, and I thought, well, I totally get it now. And then literally, it's funny how once you hear something, you always hear it multiple times again then, right? So I'm watching, I love Steve Harvey, and he was having a little quick thing on Facebook Watch the other day. And I think he was interviewing Kimberly Jones. She had a new book out about how to change the rigged game, basically. Okay. I can look it up on my Audible. She has a really good new book out, and I didn't know her, but I liked what she was saying. I liked her message, right, on how do we really go back and do this race thing right, or how do we start from here and and do this right. And I was listening to him talk to her, and he literally said, and I had to tag you, I don't know if his people saw it or he saw it, or if anybody will ever see it, but I had to tag you because he said, hate is so loud. I literally went on his little page and I was like, you got to go over and see my friend Luis over at Make Kind
Oh,
Loud.
thank
Because
you.
I said, because
Wow.
some people realize hate is loud, but there's a lot of people out there trying to make kind loud, right? Trying to make
Yeah.
things that are better and prettier. And yeah. So it's just the first thing that popped into my head was, oh no, he needs to go check out that there are other people out there, not just, I mean, Kimberly's in her lane, right? She's a history teacher. She's trying to
Yeah.
talk about the history of how this got messed up to begin with and how we can do it, better in future. But I thought he may not know there's other people out there like yourself that are making kind loud. So I don't know. I don't know if his people saw it or not, but I figure it's always worth a shot on social media because sometimes they answer, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they
You're right.
get
Sometimes they
it, and
do.
yeah. And sometimes you make a post for 4 years because somebody's supposed to see it that one day, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so
So
much. And that's amazing. And I appreciate you doing that. You didn't have to. And it just it warms my heart up knowing that the message is ingrained in you now. And so when you
yeah.
hear something someone else says, you're like, oh, hey.
Yeah, that's not the only avenue out here, right? I mean,
Right.
we all know, right? I mean, people talk about, I don't watch the news because the news is not, fun and there's not any good stories and whatever. You can find your own channel. You can find your own people. To Brian's point, people gravitate to you because of what you're sharing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you've got your channel on for what, 4 or something years now,
Mhm.
right? You've got your channel on and people are able to find it and they're able to hear something uplifting, real, authentic, right? Even if we're having a not so great day, we're still
Right.
saying all the right things, right? I mean, that's that whole faith part of it. Is some days we got to fake it till we make it, right? Or faith
Yes, we do.
faith it till we make it, as they
Faith
say.
it
Yeah,
until we make it. That is
that's
so
right.
true.
But
And that's
I
about
do appreciate.
as thank you. And that's what I've said before is that some days I don't feel like it. Some days I'm not
Yeah,
even like in the mood to get on the video and tell people it's a fantastic day. But
yeah,
you faith it until you make it, right? And then as Brian mentioned, even on those days that you don't feel good, that you don't really want to do it, then you
yeah.
do it, and then all of a sudden you feel better because you got up and you did it.
You spoke those good words of faith into yourself. Whether anybody else was
Mm,
there to do it, you not only were speaking it for yourself, but then everybody who else got to listen got to hear it too, right? So
yeah,
they said, "Oh yeah, I'm not having the best day either, and I'm still going to tune in and check it out," and they still get that uplift, right? What is it?
right.
I'm trying to think of who said it. That you can. I think it was Abraham Hicks said you can only uplift, from that good place. You can't uplift from a bad place. You just can't.
Mm,
So in taking that action to be consistent or faithful or whatever label people want to put on it, to take that action every day really is you taking your own personal action to get there to lift everybody else up. So yeah,
yeah.
I applaud you for it. I did, I think, 45 days of a lift up lounge kind of thing when COVID first started, when I didn't
Uh-huh.
know 45 days was going to turn into 2.5 years. Now what are we on? And I thought, I don't have this in me, right? Because I'm not pretending to be happy every day. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not pretending to be happy every single day. Now it
Right.
is a goal, but sometimes I let ish get in my way, right? And
Right.
so, and sometimes life just happens, and things aren't always perfect. But I do appreciate, and my whole family knows now because I'll go through my Facebook stuff when I have a chance every day, and when I hit your piece, they all know your voice now because I just play everything out loud. Usually I don't have my headphones in unless I'm talking on something like this. And usually as soon as they hear you, then they're all like, oh, what's Louisa got to say today? So
Oh my
everybody
goodness.
everybody wants to know it. Everybody wants to hear it. And everybody knows the whole, ending now by heart. So it's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you. See, that's amazing. I never would have
And
known
I'm,
that. I never would
and
have
I'm
known
always just looking to see how perfect your hair looks today.
that.
It's getting better every day.
Curls popping.
They are perfect lately.
Thank you. Well, Melissa, I think you are amazing. I love your heart. I love your energy. And it has been an honor to know you over the last few years. And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Well, tell everybody I said hello.
I sure will.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Awesome. So it has been a beautiful, actually, pause. I'm going I'm going to text my nieces. They said they wanted to come in. So I just want to text them really quickly to see if they have time to pop in for a second. And then we are going to wrap this up. It's been beautiful. Thank y'all so much for the energy. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for just the motivation to keep going. And it takes a village, right? It takes a village of people to keep you motivated as well. And so, just as I've told every single person who came on today, they are an inspiration to me because of how they show up in their lives. And it is a ripple effect. It is a ripple effect of we can change the world. And I talk a lot about changing the world. And there are over 7 billion people in this world, but it's not about showing up. It's not about changing 7 billion people, right? Because you can't change other people. It's about doing the internal work to change yourself so that you can show up and you can be your best self. And then someone might see that and then they can impact themselves and show up in their community. And then it keeps going. And before you know it, we have touched every single person just by showing up and doing our best to shine our lights. And that's all we're here to do, really. And to shine our lights and to do the best that we can to leave this world better than when we entered it. And again, we have no idea when our dash is going to be up. All we know is that during that dash, from the time that you were born until the time that you die, in that in between space, during that dash, it is up to you to stand in the gap. It is up to you to shine brighter. It is up to you to make kind loud. It is up to you to offer grace. It is up to you to understand that we belong to each other, period. We cannot do this thing called life without all of us in it. And that includes everyone. And before I go, my girl, my niece LaShawn has popped in, so I'm going to let her say a couple words, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. But for all that who have came on today, my soul is filled. I am so overflowing with joy right now, and this is going to keep the motivation going for me to keep going for another 4 years. So I'm going to pop on LaShawn. Hey, Shawn. How are you?
I'm good.
Huh?
Oh, you're frozen.
Oh, I'm here. Can you see me?
Hey, Lou.
Oh, I'm going to text you. Hold on.
Oh, wait. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Okay. I was about to text. I was like, I can still see you. So Shawn, okay. Shawn is my
favorite.
Shawn is my 8th niece. I have 25 nieces and nephews, and she falls number 8 in the list. And so you've known me your entire life, Shawn, right? And so before I started my kindness journey, I was a little sarcastic, you know what I'm saying?
A little.
Maybe a lot. So what have you seen? How have you seen growth, or have you seen growth over the last few years?
I would say that your growth, like, sarcasm is not your first go-to anymore. You'll stop yourself, and then you'll be like, I can't put that on my spirit. And then you'll say something kind instead. And so I think that has been a big change, because usually you were the quick-witted, sarcastic person. Like, you can't say nothing because Aunt Lou always has a comeback.
Always. I was locked and loaded, right? I was locked
Yep.
and loaded for no reason.
Yeah.
Like I was just ready.
Oh, and nephew Trey is in the car.
Oh, hello, nephew Trey. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. Yeah. So Sean, you're right. I was ready. No matter, it doesn't matter what anybody said. It didn't matter who it was either. It was
Yep.
just it was
Yep.
just like, oh, I got something for you. And so now you mentioned a phrase that I use quite often now, which is I can't put that on my spirit. And what that means for me is that even with all the craziness that's happening around me, and whether it's drama, whether it's gossip, whether it's whatever, um, to not allow that to infiltrate your soul, because
Yep.
you get a choice of what you choose to respond to, right? So you don't have to respond to every single thing. And sometimes it
Right.
just means, you know what, I can't with that today.
And it actually makes you a lot more peaceful, because then you really don't think about it anymore. It's not just you saying I can't put that on my spirit because I don't want to be in the drama, but like I can't put that on my spirit. I won't put that on my spirit, and now I've moved on, and I don't even have to think about it anymore.
Exactly. Exactly, baby. Girl, Shine, you know I love you so much.
I know. I know. Thank you for telling the world. I love you too, girl.
I do. I love you so much. You're one of my favorites, and your own journey.
You hear that,
Um
Gina?
your own journey, like you are now a teacher who is
Woo.
out there impacting lives. So when you were in school, did you think, because you know, kids always gravitated towards you. However, did you think that you would be a teacher molding lives?
So when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher, but as I got older, I was like, no, I could never do that. I hate kids. I hate other people's kids. I only like my cousins. But now that I'm at school and I see the kids, it's like the school is going up in flames. Like the school system is up in flames. Everything is just all over the place. But the kids are why I'm there. Like I really like them. It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And you're
That's why I
amazing.
met.
You're amazing with kids too.
Thank you. I am. Would you 10 out of 10 recommend? Yeah. Okay. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10 would recommend. All right, Shine, I know you have a big event that you're getting ready to go to. So thank you for popping on, and I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. I'm gonna tell Lisa to join next.
Okay, I love you.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Okay, real quick, I have one more niece who just got on. She's about to go to basketball practice, so she only has a minute. So I'm gonna pop her in. Oh, you're on mute, baby. Okay, give her a second. She's dealing with her players. You're on mute. Unmute yourself.
Sorry.
That's okay.
India.
This is Regina Garrett. She is the number 10 niece. And she is also a college basketball coach. She's about to have basketball practice, so she only has a few seconds to come in. But hey, Gina,
Hey, hello.
how are you?
Good, girl. How are you?
I'm feeling so good. I have been uplifted this past 52 minutes and 51 seconds. I have felt the love. I'm about, you know me, I'm about to cry. It's been amazing. And real quick, because I know you have practice in 5 minutes. But so I just talked to Sean, and I asked her, I'm going to ask you the same question. So, knowing me your entire life, what is the biggest thing that you have seen change over the course of me doing my kindness journey and then doing these videos every single day?
I think the biggest thing I've seen is that um you have just overall become more, hey Nancy, have become more positive just in general. Like you always find the silver lining in things, which is good for, me, because I can get a little down. So you always like, but hey, something, something, something. And I'll be like, Elu, that's not what I want to hear right now. And you're like, but it's true. So I think that's something that I've noticed a big change for, and I've been grateful for and appreciate you for.
Oh, thank you so much. And so, for those who've heard me speak before, I talk about Denise always saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. This is the niece that I'm talking about. This is Gina. She lived with me during her high school years, and I would, tell her to clean her room, do her homework, or whatever. And she would always come back with, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that was, again, prior to my kindness journey. And so I'm sure when I told her these things that I did not tell her in the most kind way. And so now the way that she said, I see the silver lining in things, and it's amazing. So I appreciate you, G, because I wouldn't be here right now without you, honestly. And I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing without you opening my eyes to the way I was showing up in the world. And so I appreciate you for being relentless in your little teenage angstiness, saying to me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And so thank you for that. And thank you for helping me
Of
get to my
course,
kindness journey. Yeah.
love you, girl. We help each other grow.
We helped each other grow. Look at that. All right, baby. I know you got to go to practice. Say hi to your players for me.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
not talking to them right now, but I'll tell them.
Okay. All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. You have to click off. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all. This has gone longer than I thought it was going to go, and it has been beautiful. So I am going to leave it at this. And just am so grateful to all of you for showing up and for doing your part in making this world better. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to celebrate 4 years and to be able to just, put a small drop of kindness in the big bucket of this world. And so that one day, it may not be in my lifetime, but maybe in someone in the next generation's lifetime, that we can have more joy, have more compassion, have more grace for each other, and realize that we belong to each other. And it's up to us to show up to our best ability. And I will leave you with this quote by Maya Angelou, who always gets misquoted on this. People typically say, when you know better, you do better. That's what they say that the quote is. But the quote actually says, do the best that you can until you know better. And when you know better, do better. So just because you know better doesn't mean that you're actually going to do better. It's that action part. It's the action part. And so do the best you can with whatever your situation is, whatever your life is, do the absolute best that you can do. But when you know better, then you have the responsibility to do better. And as long as we're doing our best to do better, I have total faith in humanity. And I firmly believe that we are going to make a kind impact in this world, and we are going to make kind loud. So thank you again for 1,468 days. Thank you for riding this journey with me. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the motivation and the inspiration, because I could not do this without you. So let's choose fantastic. Let's make kind loud, and always, always, always pass the love. We'll see you next week on another episode of Make Kind Loud, conversations that turn up the volume. Bye.